I know words. I have the best words.
This is All the Best Words with Matt Murphy and Cameron Smith.
If you're trying to sell a house that you're going to hire a photographer, I guess the realtor does that.
Yeah.
And you take really, really awesome pictures of the house.
Yeah.
And then you list the house. Let's say, I'm going to pull a random figure out of my head. $749,999.
Yep.
Which randomly might be at the top end or a little over the top end of someone's budget.
Sure.
But man, it looks like the perfect house. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's well appointed. It's gorgeous. Everything looks great. And so you decide, these random people decide to go see the house. The property's great, 2 acres, got an outbuilding, looks nice. The house is a piece of garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Walls need painting, holes in the walls. All the carpets are going to have to be torn up. All of the treatments are going to have to be redone. It was a pretty nice modern place in 1993, and that was 1993. And I'm like, 5 minutes into it, I was just pissed off.
Yes.
Because it was misrepresented. And I'm like, I'm walking through what is probably a $500,000 house that needs $100,000 worth of improvements, and they want $749,999. When I'm like, what? You're wasting, like, I didn't even feel bad for me. You're wasting this little fella that's showing, you're wasting his time. You're wasting everyone's time.
That happened to me. We found the perfect house.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. It was in right where we were looking for, and we went and we're like, what happened here?
Right.
You know, like, this looks like somebody was murdered in this house. Like, it was just smashed up, and I could tell where they took the pictures were just the right angle so you can't see the claw marks as someone was drugged down the hallway. And
I mean, what are we even doing anymore? I don't get it. I do get this, that we're on the old podcast. It's called All the Best Words. And hello, welcome in. How are you? Fancy meeting you here. He's Cameron.
he's Matt.
He writes all the best words.
He says all the best words.
And this is All the Best Words. Like, subscribe, do what you need to do. We appreciate you being a part of the podcast. It's growing by leaps and bounds. There's 3 extra people that listen every time we do a podcast, and we appreciate that. We've done 60 of them or something like that, and we absolutely love doing them. The concept is simple. I bring a word, he brings a word, we talk about those words. I could talk about realtors for the rest of my time, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
My word today, Cameron, is year.
Year.
Year. Y-E-A-R. As we sit here today, it has been a year since the presidential election of 2024. And I would submit to you that what happened a year ago is a hell of a lot more important than what happened a night ago.
Yes.
And it is not in my nature to use my radio platform in Nashville, Tennessee, as a way to calm people the hell down.
It is not in your nature. I agree with that.
I'm normally the guy that's yelling and screaming. But I think everybody needs to calm down. I feel like we're falling into this trap of, oh, my goodness, everything's going to hell in a handbasket because Virginia, New Jersey, and California and New York City voted blue.
What?
Right?
Since when has that happened?
I mean, how awkward. And then, Trump comes out and says the most obvious thing on the face of the earth. I think the government shutdown might have had something to do with Virginia. Yeah. You think? What's frustrating to me is that more people aren't smart enough to understand who's really responsible for what's going on with the government shutdown, but whatever. They're all mad.
Oh, I like the other thing Trump said was, I wasn't on the ballot. Dude, you're never going to be on the ballot again.
Well,
I guess we're screwed.
we got to figure it out. I mean, if I believe you when you tell me that you love the United States of America. So if you love the United States of America, we got to figure that out.
Yeah. What's next?
Because you're not on the
not on the ballot anymore.
Nobody's saying that this was your fault, except for all of the national news networks, and maybe that's what he's responding to. But I don't know of a world where, maybe the New Jersey governor, we had a possibility, and maybe the attorney general in Virginia because he said some of the most vile,
Yeah, sure.
horrible, awful things. But Glenn Youngkin was a perfect Republican candidate, and he won by what? A point?
Yeah.
Virginia?
Virginia is now very much a swing state. And what I mean by that is it's purple, right?
Yeah.
It can go either way. And it's more likely going to trend Democrat because you have such a high concentration of government employees in the D.C. suburbs.
Right. So I do believe that what happened last year is far more consequential and important than what happened last night. And I'm fearful that there is a knee-jerk reaction on the part of Republicans to suggest that we need to necessarily do things differently. Now, that is not to say that things don't need to be done differently. As you and I have discussed, and I'm coming around to your way of thinking on this, the Trump administration and Republicans generally need to figure out a game plan on the economy and on foreign trade deals that don't have to do with tariffs anymore, because it feels very much like that's not going to go Donald Trump's way. Now, that won't be decided until next year sometime, but you better start figuring out right now.
Oh,
right?
The Supreme Court oral arguments were today.
Oh, I know. And Gorsuch was not amused.
No, it
And
did not
Roberts
go well.
I mean, our guys, and look, I mean, maybe they're just setting us up, but I mean, our guys, meaning the more constitutional
Yeah, the more
conservatives,
conservative justices.
how exactly can the legislative branch? You're arguing that the legislative branch gave you that authority, but the Constitution says they can't do that. So help us understand it, right? So there are ways to fix some of the things that have gone on, maybe not so well in the first 10 months of the Trump administration, the second term. But what I don't want to do is react to what was obviously going to happen in the first place, and that is Democrats were going to win last night. So year is my word.
Yeah, well, it relates to my word, which is socialist. So it has been hilarious to me to watch the wringing of hands across the country about the mayor of New York City. So between basically a guy in a red beret, we don't really know why or what's happening there, Andrew Cuomo and Zoran Mamdani. Mamdani, say it right? Okay.
Mamdani. I want to say Mondami, and it's the reverse. And it's not Zoltar, which I was calling him all week last week, which was the fortune teller machine in the fabulous feature film starring Tom Hanks, Big.
Good reminder.
Zoltan? I don't know.
Mamdani.
We're just going to go with Mamdani.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the point is, he is a Democratic socialist, and we are just very upset in places like Tennessee, Alabama, Utah about the mayor of New York City, which, let me explain just real quickly how this works. New York City is about $300 billion in debt, and if Mamdani gets what he wants, they'll be like $600 billion in debt, because he's going to double, like he really wants to spend a lot more, which is shocking, not at all. Well, he's got to get that from somewhere. So that means he's going to raise taxes. He's going to basically squeeze the economic heart of New York. And those people have money. You know what money does when it gets squeezed? It leaves. And so they will be in a death spiral where people will leave to Charlotte, to Nashville, to other places where there's more favorable. People don't really know this, but like New York's a financial hub. So Charlotte, North Carolina. So those people move to Charlotte and say, you know what? We got plenty of banking infrastructure here. This is where we're going to do it now.
Right.
And that means you have a smaller tax base. And now you still got to get the revenue. So you raise it again. And then eventually they just move and you gut the economic golden goose. It's kind of like what we've seen in California. So I actually look at this the other way. I'm not wringing my hands.
I think it's a good thing.
It's a good thing. For Republicans, they can say, you see what's happening in New York, the death spiral that they voted into office? Well, guess what? It can come to a city near you. And then all you in suburbia who are like sort of toss-up land, you're like, whoa, if that can happen in New York City, it can happen here. So we better stay far away from this stuff.
Who are the moderate Democrats anymore?
Nancy Pelosi. I don't know if you know that.
Who are the moderate Democrats that aren't 180? Right? I mean, that honest question.
Yes.
Who are the younger, more moderate Democrats? So I like this. I hate it for the people of New York. I know that we like to crap all over New York City, but there are great parts of New York City. New York City can be a great town. It's an interesting and different place, but it also is very important to the United States of America. And sadly, a lot of the things that drives New York, I would feel like the moving truck is going to back up to that door. They're going to load it up and they're going to go somewhere else. And New York is going to slowly get squeezed in the way that we've seen Chicago get squeezed. And hopefully it will not get as bad as like a Detroit, Michigan, or some parts of California. But for him to be the face of the New Democrat Party, I think is ultimately good and eye-opening for the United States, unless the mainstream media and the Democrats convince enough people that it's the Republicans' fault. And I don't understand how they do that, but I promise you that's what they're going to try.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be like, well, the issue here is that, it's kind of like what they do with guns, right? They say, well, the gun issue in Chicago is really because of the lax gun laws all around here. The reason New York is dying is because all these red states are allowing these businesses to move there and not taxing them. So we've got to force at the federal level tax, which is exactly why we don't need a powerful executive branch at all. We need power at the federal level squished because this is what's going to happen. If we open up the floodgates like Trump wanted to nuke the filibuster, then Democrats, when they get power, and they will at some point, that's just inevitable. We go through political cycles. They will take that power and basically say, squish states, we're on top. We are on top of you. We can tell you what you have to do. And then we lose the ability to have these different laboratories of democracy. And I think socialism, and why it's so dangerous, is socialism is the pathway to communism. Communism is responsible for the deaths of hundreds of millions of people across the globe over time.
Well, the way I like to say it, and it's a little inartful, but I think it gets the point across, is that socialism is what we do when we claim that the people need the power back. And so these people that are in power claim, oh, socialism will bring you the power back because we're going to cut through the oligarchy. And we're going to Communism is what happens when the people wake up and realize that's not true.
Yeah.
Right?
And I
because
think
that's when they take over the means of production from the financial hubs and the free markets that actually drive the economy. When they take that over and it doesn't work, and we realize it doesn't work, then we raise our hands and say, hey, this isn't working, and communism is the lash. It's like, well, you're going to continue working.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason socialism, my word, is why I keep going after the Trump administration on investing in these private companies, getting a stake in them, because it's putting your foot in the pool of communism. You're like, we're not there. There's a good reason to start down this road. And you don't flirt with something that kills hundreds of millions of people. You just say no.
There should be a very, very, and it could be an entirely new podcast, but there should be very, very exclusive reasons. Basic utilities. Water supply, electrical grids. But even there, I say that competition is better than no competition, right? But I understand the excuse making. But, yeah, the slow creep toward that just hands ammunition to the actual socialist who say, we're already doing it here. Let's just go ahead.
And you guys are doing it. We're doing it. It's fine.
Everybody's doing it.
Fine.
It's no big deal.
Socialism.
And last year was more important than last night, friends. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of All the Best Words. My name is Matt Murphy.
My name's Cameron Smith.
We'll see you next time.